Welcome back to Trucks and Treks. So I was donated today a new shifter shaft. As you can see from comparison, this one is nice and round and this one is a little odd shaped on this side and broken and cracked, and yeah, it's not any good anymore. So got ourselves a donated used shifter shaft that's in great shape, not bent or anything. So we're going to attempt to put it in and see if we can get this thing put in neutral. So now that we're over here by the bike, let's see here. We can get the shifter to go in here. There's a washer. Looks like there's a washer stuck here so it doesn't wear on the case right here. So that's good. And our shift pole, I guess bushing you would call it. I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's all on there. And let's see here. Go in. Push up. And in. Okay. So now, let's see if we can get this thing to go down in. Oh, well, that's good. Oh, I think we have neutral. Okay, well, that's good. Attempt to put this cover back on. This thing's got a one-way gear on it, so this is the first time I've ever done this, so bear with me. Make sure things are lined up. And I will be taking this back apart and putting a new gasket on it, but for testing purposes, we're putting this back together. We're binding. What's happening? Oh, something released. Pop this cover off by doing that. I guess we should inspect and see what's going on. Wow, that's really on there. Oh, there it went. Okay, so this is the one-way gear. I'm assuming it goes like that. Looks like this shaft goes in here and holds it. Spins on there nice. Like I said, I will be putting new gaskets on this, but for testing purposes, we're just putting it back together. Alright, don't roast me, but I'm using a gun. I'm not torquing it down with it, I'm just cinching it down. So please do not roast me in the comments. Okay, let's see here. Put the shifter on. Might need a little love tap. Cover. Okay, take our JIS screwdriver. Switch that down. All right. Now foot peg. Threads look pretty good.
So we dragged the Big Red out of the shop because we went riding, and so we had to get a couple bikes ready. So we took these two riding plus a couple other bikes, and that 200X was not running a couple days ago. It was an absolute thrash over a 2-day period, borrowing parts off of other bikes to get that running just so that we could go out to the woods for our nephew's birthday. Ouch. Ow. So she's got like the carburetor off of the Race 200X and throttle cable, and like it still needs some love. It was just an absolute throw together in a 48-hour period so that we could go take the nephew out. Sticky throttle.
I gotta fix currently.
But not bad for 2 days. Needs a little love. This is our 350X. We got it a little while ago, and then we let it sit and kind of thrash suited that together too for our first test ride out. And now we got to do some love to that too. I did the carb upgrade of the 400EX carburetor. It's like a Chinese Yum 400EX carburetor, and now we need to tune it in a little bit. But the next order of business is to put that thing back in the shop. And I'm going to look up the curb weight here in just a minute of that, because we're pretty sure that that's our heaviest bike here, actually, including all of my quads, that's the heaviest bike we have on the property, we think. I'm going to look it up. So I looked it up and confirmed that this is in fact our heaviest bike. The dry weight of this is 406 pounds, and the dry weight of my 4-stroke quad is 396. So this is in fact the heaviest bike on the property. So apparently it rained this much yesterday, so we are going to drain this, and it has a drain tube down there from the bottom of the airbox, but it's too hard to maneuver it around, and I don't want to break it. So and the drain is clogged, so I'm going to use this oil filter or funnel to try to catch it and divert it into this bucket. And I'm gonna try to stab this drain.
I gotta find the dang.
It's in the corner closest to me.
Oh, there it goes. Is it doing it? No.
No water yet. Must be really clogged. No, maybe we gotta go from the bottom. Nope.
It's not walking off there.
Or disconnected, I guess.
There it goes. And we're not catching. There we go.
Okay, now we have our air box emptied of the rainwater from yesterday. So the next thing we need to do is figure out if this thing has spark, and it does have an electric start, so our goal is to have it crank itself so that we can keep it up in the air and not have to kick the snot out of it. So we got a new battery for it, but we have to figure out how the old battery comes out.
Thing is already undone. So it looks like I need a Phillips for that, and right here too. Okay. Positive. I should just.
Hopefully the battery I got fits in there.
Champion. Excite. Okay.
Well, that looks like a pretty good match. Got this battery on Amazon. It was quite a bit cheaper than the ones they had at Walmart. I want to say it was 25 bucks or so. No, 32 after tax, I think. Something like that.
Okay, positive is on the correct side, so that's good. Oh. Oh. Of course. Drop that. This might be a fight. Maybe not. I like it when things work.
If you guys do struggle getting those connectors, the little blocks are not tall enough for your screw to reach as you're trying to get things connected, you can fold up a piece of paper. I've been known to fold up a piece of sandpaper, a little tiny, and put it underneath the block to help lift it up so you can get your thread started. Okay, terminals are both connected.
We'll fidget with that later. Well, that's probably not a good thing, but we can tighten that real quick.
Is it grounding to a rubber interrupted?
No, so it's sandwiched between two pieces of metal that's going into the frame. Somebody's custom worker here. Custom. That might be an issue. We'll see though. Okay.
Key looks like it went through a fire.
No light.
So we know it's in neutral.
Oh my, that switch just froze.
Frozen in the run position.
Okay. Now, take our multimeter, put it on the positive side. Put, negative on negative. 12 something volts. That's good enough. Now, take leave it on negative. Go over here to the solenoid. This is the red is hot all the time. Same amount of voltage. Just to be sure, I'm going to check over here. Nothing. Okay. So now that our switch is not coming on, I just want to see if the engine rolls over. So I take a screwdriver. Not recommended, but I do it anyway. Because, yeah. Our engine rolls over.
So what he did is he jumped the starter solenoid with a metal object.
Bypass the internal switch.
Yeah, so you connect the positive and the negative together. Don't touch those things or the metal rod while you're doing that.
Just because I can, I'm going to see what it looks like on Spark. Nothing. Good news is it's got lots of compression. I can feel it kicking out.
And the starter works, and the engine cranks over.
Yeah, engine starts,
and
engine cranks, starter works.
There's a lot of positives there. No spark, but a lot of positives. We're getting
Forward progress.
Yeah.
Brittle. At least the rubber is. Oh, there we go.
So we have our answer that we don't have spark, and now we're going to start going through the motions of seeing where the power stops, because when you don't have spark, something's not getting the power all the way to the end of the spark plug, and it's just a question of figuring out where it stops, and it could be more than one thing, especially with a desert bike where all the plastic and rubber is rotten.
Yeah, like that. So we take our multimeter, switch it down to 20K.
What are we testing for?
Ohms, continuity.
So to see if there's like a broken wire between point A and point B?
Yeah. Hold on. Gotta get this right there so I can get my hand out of the way.
What should it say?
It should give a reading. That's open loop is what it says right now. So if I touch them, it should give it some sort of reading.
So there's a busted something between dot on the harness or part or something.
Don't know yet. Oh, that one's giving me a reading.
Okay.
So that one's fine. So we can test between the two. Open loop. Okay.
So that would mean that the power is not all getting to the coil.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that the switches aren't messed up either. Oh man. So we can clean these connections up without. Okay, so I pulled it all apart, cleaned it up. There's a spring and a ball, and there's a detent here where it goes. So we're going to put that back together. And in theory, should just click back together like that. And there we go. Now the switch moves freely. So there's that. Now I'll put the cover back on. If I can remember how it went. I think it goes like this. Maybe. My neighbor's jamming out. one of the issues is this switch was frozen, but now I'm looking at it, the solder is broke. So I'll figure out how to reattach that.
Well, we're going to take a little break to find our soldering irons. Not sure where that ended up. We moved a little bit earlier this year. But in the meantime, I've got the battery tender hooked up. Being careful not to have the positive touching the frame, a little tricky. But there's nothing worse than trying to work on an electrical project and you go to crank that electric start and the battery's dead. So anytime you pause on your electrical project, make sure you hook up your battery tender. They're to save a lot of headache for not a lot of money. Thanks for watching. We'll be back.